38 undoubtedly has some of the most amazing beaches in our area, but it does come with some downsides. Stick around. I'm AJ, and this is
Andrew.
And we're local real estate agents right here on the Emerald Coast.
Before we jump into the 10 different things that you need to consider before moving to 30A, please keep in mind that we are doing videos from Pensacola to Panama City Beach and everything in between. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and then make sure you ding that little bell so that you'll be notified every single time we do a new video.
So everybody knows that 30A is a huge destination spot for a lot of our tourism, and it's really great for our economy, so we absolutely appreciate all the tourism. However, if you're looking to move here, then you need to consider those repercussions of having that type of great economy boost, and that includes higher population during specific months. So in just a very general sense, there are going to be more people, more cars on the road, more people when you're going to restaurants, more people everywhere. So if you're not really a people person, 30A might not be the spot for you.
And if you are considering being one of those people that come to visit our area or maybe even move here, then all of our information is on the screen. Please reach out however is comfortable for you. You can do it call, text, email. You can send us a carrier pigeon or reach out on social media. Now, with tourism and with the extra people that are going to be here, that inherently comes with another problem, and that is traffic. So traffic, if you guys have been watching us for a while, you hear about our traffic all the time. It's not like a big city, but there is traffic, and it does take a little bit longer at random times. And I think that's the part that drives a lot of people nuts, is 1 minute a drive will take you 10 minutes. And then 2 months later, when tourism season hits, the same drive takes you 23 minutes. And even though that's not like a really big deal, it does matter to a lot of people. So just prep for that, especially if you were coming during any of the summer months or spring break, or really any time that we have an influx of tourism.
So those are our first and second kind of cons or things that you should know about moving to 30A. The third one is, kind of self-explanatory. We've talked about lots of people and traffic and wait times. So those wait times also pertain to restaurants and, anything else like bars or wherever else you're going to try to go. If it's during those summer months or those heavily populated months, just expect everything to take longer. There are going to be some delays. Maybe, service workers are having a harder time getting to where they need to be, or, shop owners are having a difficult time getting to where they need to be. Parking's a problem. So just, be a little bit gracious with your timelines, if you will.
So speaking of shop owners working out here in the area, keep in mind too that because we are in a very tourism-centric place, that the job availability tends to be a little bit scattered. Is that the right word? Jumpy? You might have a very good workflow where you're earning a lot of really good tips during the summer and then slow down during the winter. If you're, of course, in the service industry, if you're in another industry, that could change too. But just keep that in mind if you were coming down here and you plan on working while you're here.
And also just for what's going to be open, because some things are going to be open seasonally because that's when they're going to make their money. And, some folks like to go on vacation, just like, folks want to come here for vacation. We go somewhere else for vacation during the colder months because, that's when it makes sense.
Yeah, that's very true. In fact, one of the things that I think of all the time is the ice cream shops, and a lot of them slow down. So,
yep.
If you're planning on opening an ice cream shop, it might slow down so much that you might want to shut down for a few months during the winter.
Another thing to consider when, considering, that's a lot of considering, moving to 30A, is alligators are a real thing here. They're everywhere in Florida, and 30A is no exception to that rule. So if wildlife and its presence is like a complete deal breaker for you, well, you might just want to choose a different state.
Now, when we say that alligators are everywhere, I don't mean that it's like sprawling with alligators that you're going to have to be dodging them as you walk through the streets. In fact,
just fishing them out of your private pool.
What the Yeah. Which I have a pool and I haven't had that happen yet, so...
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's very
Everyone
sad.
should have an alligator visiting.
Yeah, an alligator pool would be awesome. No! So you're very rarely going to see them. For the most part, they're hidden away in the marshes and things like that, but they are something to consider.
Yeah, even at Grayton Beach, at the Grayton Beach State Park, they've got the signs up that tell you there are alligators in the water. So if you're out kayaking and such, just be mindful. They are present. We're kind of in their space. This whole area used to be, nothing but marshes and what have you. So there's still a huge element of wildlife actually living here alongside us.
Yeah, but don't worry, most of them are small enough. They're not going to do anything anyway. In fact, I've never seen one big enough that I was even remotely worried.
Yeah, they're just kind of cute, but don't feed them.
All right, now let's go ahead and blow past all those alligators with the next topic, which is hurricanes. All right, returning subscribers, I know you're probably tired of hearing about it. We have hurricanes here. It's a real thing. It can hit us. The really cool thing about hurricanes, though, is that you've got so much time to get out of its way, okay? So, number one, if you are going to be moving down here, or even if you're going to vacation down here, you're going to hear about the hurricanes, even on accident. Even if you're not trying to, you're just going to overhear it going out and about. So just have a plan, be prepared, get a hurricane preparedness kit in your home if you are living here full time, and just be prepared to evacuate if one is bad enough. Most of the time, they're not very bad, although you guys have seen the news or seen the weather, no matter where you live in the country, and you see every once in a while we do get hit pretty hard. Most of the time when these hurricanes come through and you see this mass devastation, they're picking the absolute worst of it. So what you've seen on TV isn't necessarily what we generally experience, although if you live here most of your life, you will probably have at least one of those happen to your town. If that happens to be 30A, then it might happen at some point in our lifetime. Hopefully, you'll be prepared and be out of the area for that hurricane.
So speaking of being rocked...
Rocking like a hurricane. That was a nice segue. I like that.
I liked it too. I was waiting the whole time to be able to use that somehow.
I was wondering why you were smirking.
You might also be a little thrown by the prices on 30A. Unlike the rest of the panhandle of Florida, 30A is kind of our jewel. And so along with jewels come hefty price tags. So the cost of living is a little bit higher on 30A. A lot of the houses are going to be bigger, newer, more luxurious, and carry a heavier price tag. However, with those costs, you get the amazing lifestyle that is living on 30A. But if that price tag is a problem for you, 30A might also be a problem for you.
Speaking of things that might not be for you, our next topic is the Emerald Coast pterodactyls. So at least that's what I call our mosquitoes out here. Now, I have traveled the world and I've seen much bigger mosquitoes, so I'm kind of exaggerating when I say that. But compared to most areas in the United States, Florida's mosquitoes are monstrous, okay? You can ride these things into battle if you need to. And they come in, they take about 16 pints of blood and then leave before you ever even know it. So, especially out near water, you're going to see a little bit more mosquitoes there. For the most part, in your livable areas, you're not really going to see them all that much. They don't really hang around in the 30A area. You know, they're not all posh and looking for a great place to hang out, but you might see them from time to time. And if you live near a water source, you might want to get your home sprayed for mosquitoes. I know that's one of the things. I actually use Spartans now, but I used to get mine sprayed all the time. And then I found this tool, or this little, not really a tool, just a thing, a little tube that you put some water in, throw it on your property. And I think one of them's good for several acres. I have a river or a small creek running, depending on the time of the year, right behind my home. And I've thrown those things up like 2 years ago, and I've never had to do anything with them since. I've never seen a mosquito since. So they're probably not going to be as big of a problem as you might think. But if you are out and about, you're out at the beach, you're, at a restaurant, hanging out at Shunk Gullies or something like that, then you might get some mosquitoes there. So if you don't like them, just be prepared to have some off sitting around. I keep some bug repellent in my vehicles as well as at my house, just in case.
So speaking of, blood red, our area, you like that?
Yeah, we're just doing that for the whole video.
Yeah, for the whole video, why not? So when it flows, it flows. But
I'm done. This was great. We're shutting down the channel. I don't want to.
Sorry guys, hope you enjoyed. We have... So our area is kind of red as well, not because of mosquito blood and always swatting them, but because we have a lot of right-wing influences here in Florida in general, and also on 30A there is no difference there. So if your political leanings are a little different colored, it might be a little bit difficult to stomach some of the giant Trump one signs that are out on 30A. There are a couple large ones. So for political affiliation, relocation, seriously consider how big of a deal that is to you, because there is a strong inclination towards being conservative on the 30A area.
And with that comes the things that you would generally expect. We are in Florida, we are in a red area of that, and therefore we like things like our fireworks and our guns. Okay, so just keep that in mind if that's something that absolutely terrifies you, which it has actually come up in the past where we had somebody planning on moving here before. I've actually had 2 examples that I can think of that as soon as they found out that you can get a concealed carry license here and that a good chunk of the population is carrying, they didn't want to move here anymore. So we just want to warn you about that. Keep it real with you. That's what you can kind of expect down here. Now, I would say that the 30A leans a little bit more in the middle compared to the rest of our area. Like it's slightly more like not as red, I would say. Do you think? Or no?
I would say sometimes the visitors maybe might make it lean a little bit.
Maybe that's why it feels like that.
But as far as the locals, I would say that stays pretty well on par with the rest of the state.
Now for the next thing I want to talk about is the state of the...
Roll with it.
So the main road that goes in and out of 30A and also through 30A through all of the different communities is scenic 30A. And for the most part, the speed limits are somewhere between 15 and 35 miles an hour with a bunch of crosswalks getting people from the north side to the south side where the beaches and some of the housing and stuff is as well. So you're not going to be speeding through here at 75 miles. You shouldn't be speeding through here at 75 miles an hour is what I should say. And you do need to watch out for pedestrians, make sure you're not hitting anybody because obviously pedestrians have the right of way. So keep this in mind that if you're going from one community to another, that it is going to take a little bit longer, although they're fairly close to each other. So time-wise, it doesn't really take that long. It just might not be at the same speed that you're used to. Now, if you want to get to one of the other cities nearby, you've got Highway 98, which is the main highway that we've got. So whether you're going into Miramar Beach over Destin or over into Panama City Beach for some shopping or something like that, you've got those options. You can just drive straight north, get on 98, and then you're hauling butt all the way to your destination.
Now, aside from all of these things that we just brought to your attention, everything else about 38 is wonderful. And some of these things that we did bring up, you might think are wonderful as well. Like having a pet alligator really seems like a cool idea.
Could you imagine walking through 38 with your pet alligator?
Oh my God, that'd be so cool.
Would be cool.
Especially if it was trained to be friendly, or like a guard dog where you get it to snap.
No, just friendly. It wants pets.
It wants pets.
It just wants to walk around and get some pets. I like it.
That would be kind of cool. We call it cuddly.
Ooh, new business idea. Pet alligators called it.
We would like to thank our returning viewers, our subscribers, and anyone that's new to the channel. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and ding the bell so that you get notified every time we do another video. And we will see y'all at the next one.